I was 22 years old and working at a local grocery store. I had been working there 3 years without incident. There was a 69-year-old bagger, who I will refer to as Ben, who had been with the store for at least 5 years. At first, he seemed friendly, trying to make conversation. Things started getting creepy on my 21st birthday. When Ben found out it was my birthday, he rushed to buy me a cake and card. He came over to me while I was with my last customer of the day and gave me the cake and card. I thanked him hurriedly and put them under my register. He continued standing behind me until the customer left. After she was gone, Ben followed me to the time clock with a crooked grin on his face. As I quickly bid him farewell, he mentioned that he was the official store spanker and started following me. I told him I needed to leave and quickly got in my car with him still following me. He went back into the store after my car started. I reluctantly read the card as soon as I got home. He referred to me as Susie Q, which put me off almost instantly. He went on to mention that I was beautiful and needed to save myself for a worthy man. I tried to avoid him as best I could, but he had continued to make advances. At one point, he invited me to his church because he claimed that since I am Jewish ancestry, that makes me a lost soul. I politely declined and he got angry with me. He even said that God was angry with me because of my body piercings and tattoos. He left me alone for a while, which made me extremely happy. One of our co-workers passed away a few months later and everything changed for the worse. It was near the end of my shift and I was cleaning my counter. I saw something in the corner of my eye and quickly turned around. My eyes fell upon a pink vase filled with stargazer lilies. I looked around for a moment and finally spotted Ben. He winked at me and I immediately felt sick to my stomach. It was entirely because a creepy old man winked at me. It was the fact that he bought me one of my favourite flowers. I had never mentioned my favourite flowers to anyone I work with, so I was quite freaked out. I brushed it off though. I reasoned that it was just a fluke. The next day, Ben gave me a book about relationships and sex. I left work in a rush and threw the book into the trash the moment I got home. That evening, I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognise. I let it go to voicemail and started cooking dinner. I checked my phone and there were 5 missed calls from that same phone number. I listened to the voicemails and to my horror, the caller was Ben. Ben was quite cheerful during the first message. He was quite angry during the last message. I nervously went to work the next day, and thankfully, Ben wasn't there. In the middle of my shift, the phone on my register started ringing. I nervously answered it and cringed when I heard Ben's slightly annoyed voice. He angrily said that he was going to buy a cell phone that I could only use to call him. I firmly told him I didn't want a phone. He scoffed and said that I didn't know how to answer it. I told him I was busy and hung up on him. Later that week, Ben followed me around the store, trying to get me to go with him to the cooler in the back for a quick kiss. The next day, Ben was off work and I felt at ease. It was about 9 p.m. and it was close to the end of my shift. Much to my displeasure, Ben was in my line. He tried talking to me, but I quickly finished his order and bid him farewell. About 15 minutes later, I looked up and saw Ben in my line again. I told my co-worker that he was creeping me out, and she took over and let me hide upstairs. She called me down and let me know that Ben was gone, but he left a card for me. I came back downstairs and got back on my register. I told my co-worker to read the card because I didn't want to look at it. I watched her face as she read it. At first, a look of confusion washed over her face. The confusion quickly turned to disgust, and then a look of horror took its place. She looked up at me, shakily, and urged me to report it to management and the police. I read it when I got to my car. I choked back bile as I read the first paragraph. Ben managed to fit 8 paragraphs of creepy nightmare fuel in a tiny greeting card. He begged me to start a relationship with him and went on describing what he wanted to do to me. He later went on to say that he was going to leave his wife for me and we could run away together. The line that freaked me out the most was, "We can go anywhere you like." I reported him to management and attempted to report him to the police. The police told me that they couldn't do anything to him until he starts coming to my house. The day that management confronted him, they found out that he had been writing down my schedule every week. I had stopped checking my missed calls at that point, but my manager urged me to check it before he continued telling me what happened to Ben. I discovered that Ben had been calling me at least 10 times each day. My manager shakily told me that Ben had tried finding my address, but had no luck. Ben ended up quitting and left me alone for about a year and 5 months. Recently, Ben started coming back to the store. He found out that I am in a steady relationship from a co-worker. He came through my line to inform me that all young men cheat, and my guy isn't any exception. I curtly told him that I trust my boyfriend more than I trust him. I grumbled something before leaving. Every week or so, I see Ben staring at me with disdain. I'm tempted to quit my job and go elsewhere in hopes of getting away from Ben. I now carry a stun gun and pepper spray just in case. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also leave a comment below. All feedback, good or otherwise, is always appreciated. If you have any creepy stories of your own, or have any topics that you would like me to cover, feel free to send them in via any of my social media. You can find all links to my social media in the description below. Until next time guys, make sure you lock your doors, stay safe, and I'll see you next video.